The business is going great. We're in the part of the market that is growing very, very quickly. And I think that the term programmatic, of course, is used very broadly. And generally, it means two sets of things. One set is automation and workflow, which is very important and is happening. I personally believe the much larger opportunity is how we make advertising more relevant for consumers and therefore drive better outcomes by using data and technology to modify content in real time. And that's the piece that we're really focused on. It's a piece of the market that is growing quickly, and yet is still actually quite early. If you think about the first real-time advertising exchange, only emerged a little over 6 years ago. So we're still actually quite early in the evolution of this marketplace, and we're really focused on how do we take the technology that we have and the ideas about how data can be applied and make the advertising experience better for every member of our ecosystem. The most advertising today isn't relevant. It doesn't have to be that way. If you think about our experience with search, whenever we conduct a search, most of the results that come back, whether they're organic or paid, are relevant and useful to us. That demonstrates the power of data and technology to create relevance for a consumer. Search has been at it for quite a while. Web search is over 20 years old today. The same opportunity exists for all other forms of media. We can move to a world where all of those experiences are relevant, where advertising truly is useful content for consumers all of the time. And when we create relevance, we directly create more value for the participants in our ecosystem, for the advertisers and for the publishers, who of course provide all this great free content for consumers. There's different elements of the creative process. I think a really important part is understanding the customers. When you are interacting digitally with consumers, you have an opportunity to learn more about who they are and understand perhaps that they're not one homogeneous group, there's different sub-audiences, and when you understand them, you can develop different strategies from a creative and media execution process. In the longer term, there's a huge potential to use data to actually modify creative, to speak differently to different consumers. That happens today to a limited extent in the retargeting space, where if you've looked at certain products, you'll see those products again or other similar products. But over the longer term, I think we'll see it expand to all aspects of display and video advertising. It's going to take time because the creative authoring tools themselves need to be data aware, otherwise the costs of creative production will be too high for anyone to bear. We've got to remember that it's not just what can be done, it's what can be cost effectively done. We're really excited about the opportunity. As I say, I think we're still very, very early in this marketplace, and we're still very invested in the fundamental technology. The technology involved in making advertising, digital advertising, programmatic advertising work at scale is very complex. It requires very significant investment in things like real-time computing and what would traditionally be called big data and modeling expertise. And I think there's a lot more we can do there in terms of improving outcomes for advertisers, but we're also introducing new products that expand the range of ways in which our technology can be applied, including products designed to help brand advertisers more consistently reach the right audiences at scale, and also enabling many of the great research companies with phenomenal data sets to make that data available in a scaled way in the digital ecosystem. We launched a product last year called Audience Grid that enables data providers, people like Kantar and IRI and MasterCard and Experian and Research Now, a whole host of different data providers to make their data available consistently at scale in the digital advertising ecosystem. And that's something that I think helps not just publishers in better understanding their audiences and creating content for them, but also helps advertisers, they look to deploy more budget online, be able to do that in a consistent way that delivers great outcomes.